Thank you very much, Pulse. I'm joined here by Odoamne. First of all, congratulations on the win. Let's talk about the game. How did you guys end up winning the game? What was the turning point when you closed it out?
Well, we were ahead pretty much the whole game. We had some good fights in the early game. Our lane swap was okay. Our level 1 was really bad though, so we threw in the mid game a bit, but as the game went, we realized why we made the mistakes and what we need to change, and we just pretty much started playing our comp the way it was supposed to be played, so it just ended up working well for us.
Can you give us a little bit more insight on what happened at the Baron throw? Because it was a turning point where fans in the audience and viewers are thinking, well, this is where Origen have a chance to pull it back.
Well, we started Baron and we were like, okay, just start Baron and we turn. And then instead of just waiting for them to pretty much start face checking the Baron pit and then we turn, we just tried to turn max range, and then Forgiven got poked super hard, and then it was just really bad. The idea was fine for us to turn. I think we would have won there the game if we played it properly, but it's just we executed it really, really poorly.
It's great to hear an honest response in terms of, judging what went wrong. Ryu had a fantastic game on LeBlanc. Yesterday's Lissandra was good. What's it like having Ryu back on the squad now? And, adjusting to obviously Selfie out, Ryu in?
I mean, having Ryu back is great. It's just we all feel more confident playing with him because it's our main roster. When I played with Selfie, it was a bit awkward just because we just got hit by a shock because we have to play with a different person and his play style is completely different and he doesn't bring as much as Ryu to the team. So now we're just trying to get the hang of it again because he's been with us only for 1 week, and now we're just trying to start playing the same as we did before, because right now we kind of play different on stage than we do in practice.
Well, it makes perfect sense. Got to readjust to somebody who's not been practicing with you. Anyways, congratulations on the win. It was a confident closeout. For now, we're going to head back to Shocks at the analyst desk.
Thank you very much. Well, good to hear from Odoamne there. They're 1-1 on the week. Of course, you guys beat them yesterday. Let's start by taking a look at the picks and bans. As you guys mentioned, during the game, H2K chose for a composition that was much easier to execute than what OG wanted to go for.
Yeah, I mean, what H2K had is a tank top laner who can engage team fights. You have a strong mid laner who can split push and pick off targets. And then you have a very safe bottom lane in Lucian Alistar. So it's overall a very easy comp to play and very safe in many ways. And I really liked it because I feel like Origen lacks some coordination. And also, when Origen plays these comps that can be fairly difficult to execute, in the mid game it often seems like they don't know what to do. And when you play against a comp like this, we were just waiting for Odoamne to TP flank like multiple times and then pluck his ulti on Sven and then go for the engage.
Yeah. Do you think that OG should have drafted differently?
Yeah, I think the draft wasn't optimal. Like, when they have 3 APs, like jungle, mid, and AD carry, and they only have AD on top lane, after the lane swap, GP is going to be a bit behind. And like when Lee Sin hits Solari, the power spike in teamfight is actually really good for H2K, and they can just like force every teamfight super easily and not lose them, even though both GP and Corki were hitting power spike with Trinity Force.
Yeah, Odoamne alluded to it there that he wasn't too happy with their lane swap entirely or their level 1. You guys wanted to take another look at the flank that happened after, which was, of course, very good by them.
Yeah, this is what Capo just talked about, how Origen wanted to wait for like for the 24's power spikes, and they didn't. For some reason here, we can just roll the clip. We see how Origen are forcing this fight, basically. They're trying to stop the push from H2K on top side, and then you have a teleport flank from Soas, who is not a farm gangplank at all. Like, in your opinion, Capo-Shot, is this like the worst play you can make as Origen?
Well, it's really not needed, and like, yeah, they just don't need to do it. H2K are hitting the power spike, Origen are not. They should not do that.
Yeah, shouldn't do it, and it's part of actually what we expected coming into this game. OG maybe not making the right tactical decisions.
Yeah, and again, it's been a big difference between H2K and Origen, or Vitality and Origen, that the current top teams have a lot better macro understanding, and I would almost say like better shot calling.
Yeah.
Because a play like this seems so forced for absolutely no reason. It's almost like a panic call. Oh, they're pushing top, what do we do? Let's TP, let's just fight them. And then they realize, oh, we didn't have Trinity Forces. We're against like a Nautilus early game who gets fairly tank already at level 6, and then you lose the fight. And when this comps falls behind, like in my opinion, the Origen composition relies on being able to trade towers, use the Gangplank ulti to then clear the wave when the other team is trying to mirror what you're doing, and then wait for like 25 minutes. You have GP on 2 items, you have your Ahri who's strong enough to actually catch targets, and then you bait like Baron, and you set up picks. You can't do that when you take fights like this and start falling behind.
However, H2K said, here's your window of opportunity.
Sure.
OG, let's take a look at the first replay. We actually got a package coming in, pun not intended, of the Baron moment that happened that got OG back in the game for just a couple of minutes.
I feel like we saw this from H2K yesterday against Vitality. Like a lot of these risky Baron calls where they didn't miss timing it a little bit. What do you think about it, Capo?
Well, like Odom, said they wanted to turn, so if it's like the plan from the beginning, they should just like all commit to it. Right now they are doing it and trying to fight, so it just won't work, and then GP in this kind of fight is really, really good, so Origen could come back on this game.
So if this were you guys doing this Baron here, how would the communication sound like? Is it like everyone yelling, finish Baron, go disengage? Or is like one guy maybe talking if you're you guys?
So normally there is kind of like a line that you know if enemy goes through, that's really the point that you can engage on them. If the plan from the start is to turn and not do Nashor. And as long as they won't go through that line, you keep doing Nash, and at some point they will have to commit, and that's the real moment, like all the team has to go.
Yeah, but H2K reacted almost immediately. We had that TP coming in from Odoamne. If there's anything that you can count on, mostly it is Odoamne and just a tactical play coming in there. Do you think the fact that here around Baron it wasn't perfect is still adjusting to Ryu coming back in, Cabo?
Yeah, probably like knowing that Ryu is doing a lot of their shot calling, he just came back like 1 week, not even. So yeah, I guess it has an impact on that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a player on Origin side we kind of have to criticize a little bit, just not only from his performance today, but also yesterday. A guy we normally praise is Sven.
Yep.
So often for being one of the best AD carries we have in Europe. Yesterday he got hit by bindings, it set the team behind. They managed to win anyway against Elements. Today there were quite a few engages. They were landing straight onto Sven multiple times. And if Mithy wasn't there to save him with Time Kench every time, he died.
Yep.
So there's a lot of these engages that were too easy for H2K almost to pull off.
Yeah. You're almost afraid to say it because it's so out of character.
Yeah, it is, because this is a guy we praise so often, and he had a really bad week.
That can happen.
He can. Like, EpicSkillshot had a terrible week. He played Lulu.
There we go. But in the end, it was H2K that wins over OG. It's time for us to step away, but we'll be right back to dial into our next match between Splice and Fnatic. Keep it tuned right here because we will be right back.
Remember, guys, your whole life lead up to
No. Okay, actually, okay, let's talk. Yeah, Matt.
everything you did in your life led up to this moment.
Yes,
Yes,
and this is only a step in the process.
Now the re-engage comes in from H2K. Ryu from the mid lane looking to take down Amazing. There's the kick.
Nice.
we can keep going. I'm going.
I'm super low. Tank engage. Front line.
I exhausted Tam Ken. Ari ult from behind.
Amazing in with the punish here. This was a potential foe coming in from H2K. Forgiven has been exhausted. There's a rocket. There's a takedown. There's the Depth's Daughter empowered ultimate. Forgiven takes out Power of Evil, who was just in the back lines. And now Sven will also be caught out on top of that. Odawan is looking to lock people down. There's that combo coming in from Vanza. Mithy will also be falling. And H2K take down Origen. What a game by H2K.